Alright guys, here we go. As you guys can officially see, I did have out my tape measure. So obviously I put my GoPro thing on my remote, right, for my TV, and I learned that it only goes down to the record sign. Obviously I measured it then, and that's only a 2x2. And those pieces actually aren't that expensive. Graham was thinking it would be through the roof, because obviously for our sliding glass door, right, you're supposed to get those really thick wooden things. And supposedly, you know, you could only buy the whole thing at once, like you couldn't cut it down, which didn't make any sense. So she said, why don't you go to find like a, you know, like a scrap place, you know, maybe, because there is a scrap place that we were thinking of. And then I was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm not even gonna mess around with this circles and squares, right? Because yeah, you can fit a circle into a square, if the square is big enough, and the circle is, I mean, I don't know the exact ratio, but it has to be a certain amount bigger or smaller, right? And there's probably a way you can figure it out. I just actually don't remember that from school, but I think I actually do remember them showing that, like where there's like an equation, right? So if the square is a 4x4, right? What is the maximum diameter, right, of a circle that could fit, right? Because diameter is true in every direction in a circle, right? So whether you're going from 2 degrees to, what would that be, like around 200 degrees? You guys get the point, right? Just 180, right? That's the same distance, right? As, well, even, what would that be, 90? No, 270 to 90, right? So, anyhow, there was a thing that I remember, but I can't remember the exact, but I could figure it out, though. But then I was like, well, why don't I just get my own, you know, do natural resources, right? But that actually wasn't going to end up working, because a lot of the trees that are best to not change with, you know, diameter, or not diameter, to not change with, the trees that are best equipped to not change with like humidity, right? And obviously humidity will change a lot in this house here until it's time to go. So I was just like, you know what? I think I'll probably just buy it. It's not that hard and that much to buy. I am actually looking at my stool right now. Obviously, I'm going to keep the stool. But what about that, too? Even this, guys, would be perfect. This desk. I said, guys, there's definitely a lot of really good pieces of woodwork here, but we're not going to be cutting into those and destroying my furniture, right? So, yeah, so like I said, I really only need a 2x2, and I probably only need, I'll have to actually measure that GoPro selfie stick and just see. So, I did want to come on then and share that I did also count my money, too. So, I do have 100 miles till empty. What I'm going to do actually, though, is I'm going to go ahead probably to Lowe's here this morning in my 100 miles and not fill it up until later on this week. And then I have to take Graham's car to get it filled up. So I'm going to use Graham's car. I'm going to go fill it up for her, which, you know, again, she definitely probably could do it on her own. She did it on her own when I was in Florida. But I'll just do it for her now that I'm home. And again, I would want that done to me, right? So I'm going to do it to other people, right? So yes, and that also goes off the golden rule, right? With the location one, right? Obviously, right? Like I had just said, like, so if you know that, Alyssa, why are you still continuing, right, to post, right? Well, again, I showed that actually really, really well, you know, too, because that's also like giving her time, too, right, for whatever has happened in her life. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of cool to wait 9 months before. What?
You know what we should do?
What?
We should wait till after we get groceries
I know.
and then take both cars down at the same time.
Mimi, how many do we have?
Huh?
How many gas points?
Can I come in?
Yes, come in. How many gas points do we have? We'll have to see if it's worth it. It's 23 cents cheaper. Well, 25 actually down.
25 cents cheaper.
It's 3.86 down there. You know. So it's 4.09 and 4.19 here. So that's already 26 cents. So we have to go down at least 30 cents to save anything. We'll have to see.
Let's see. This was groceries.
Well, 4.79 plus 1.50. It'd be what? 5 and 7 is 12.
Almost
so
600.
it's like 620. It'd be over because the 5 and the 7 carry over. It'd be like 620. That'd be 60 cents. Then we'd get it for 3.40.
And what is it down the road?
3.86. Yeah, that's 40 cents even. That's
Maybe
good.
We'll have to buy more groceries, which I think we're going to have a lot because I need to get.
Alright guys, so after you heard all of that, actually $18.24, which is really, really good. That'll definitely boost me up to probably almost right around, I would say, you know, a half a tank if I was kind of low. Maybe even a little bit more, like 3/4. Well, I mean, with the price of gas now, maybe not. But yeah, like I said, that's really, really good. So, I can definitely continue again to use that, you know, next time that I fill up. But you guys obviously just heard we're going to get a lot of gas off. And I'm probably going to take up about 9 gallons worth of that. But I'll take a picture for you guys later. So, yes, and I still have to give Graham her $25 from when I ordered those blue and black shorts, right? So, it's definitely going to be, you know, something that is good, though, because, again, I've been anchoring down, right? So, we might actually not do the groundhog today anyhow, just because, again, the weather. So, save it for a rainy day, right? And that's what we're doing. We're saving it for a rainy day. So, we're doing all these little activities, and we're, you know, going to get the gas, get the groceries, right? All of that stuff today. So, yeah, so it'll be like a wrap up the final expenses, right? And she might take it tonight, but she might obviously wait until I get paid tomorrow. And then she'll take out her, probably be around $50. So yeah, like I said, that's really, really good though. So anyhow, guys, I'll officially go ahead though, and I will go ahead and get going, and we'll go get our stuff at Lowe's, and then we'll come back here, and we'll be all ready to go. So, I'm trying to think, yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything. It's probably just much cheaper as well to probably just use super glue, you know? Like, I was just thinking, what about, like, implanting, like, a magnet into there, right? Or, like, you know, like, how you can have magnets, right? So think of it like, well, think of it like the clip on my tape measure, right? So you have a magnet there at the end. And I actually think that those actually exist, but they don't exist in like, they're more like a personable thing. Would you, right? Would you say that? I don't know what you would say exactly, but like something you would have in your house, right? Like you definitely wouldn't want that as like a barrier, right? Like let's say, you know, maybe a lot of people have tripped and fallen, right? Because they're texting, right? Maybe when they're walking through the mall. So they fall into the pool, right? And we've seen that, obviously, those videos a couple times. So you're not going to want something that's a magnet that you can just tip right over, right? So more than likely, it's just something that you do in your house. Definitely not security for your house. No duh. So, yeah, like I said, though, you know, almost like a little suction cup, but it's a magnet cup, right? So, yeah, anyhow, guys, I'm officially going to go ahead, though, and get going there. And then I'll meet you guys, or I'll talk to you guys. Yins will meet me when I'm there. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, everyone, your girl Liz here. A little bit claustrophobic, right, with this thing. I almost look like I have a trachea. So anyhow, guys, you guys saw I actually don't need to get this whole length even. So I can even get a little bit shorter too, which is really, really good. So anyhow, I'm officially gonna go ahead and get going, so let's go. Alright guys, there we go. Officially 8 inches, so let's go. Hey everyone, your girl is here. Here we go guys, look. It's actually in Florida. So as you guys can officially see, here we now officially are. I just got back to my car, and what an amazing sight, guys, to see. I obviously see them from a mile away, and yes, I do. And I see it sitting back there. That is absolutely amazing, guys. Florida is calling. What an amazing sight to see as I come out of Lowe's. And by the way, this whole piece that you see back here, it's actually right by my door, the speaker on my door, like the very front of the door, the frontmost part of the door, and it goes the whole way back here, which is absolutely insane, for it only being $3.17. And once I get home, obviously, we'll do the rest of it, but it looks like this is really freaking good. So, perfect little cut, 8 inches, and it'll just fit on there perfectly. And yeah, he also mentioned, you know, maybe, you know, securing it with some rope, right? And then tying it down. And that was pretty much it. But I was like, well, I do have some bungee cords, you know, zip ties, you'd have to have some really big ones. So probably just stick with like bungee cords. I can still use that rope though that he talked about, because there is just a little bit of a hang off, you know, on both ends. So yeah, like I said, that'll be really, really fun. We'll go ahead and we'll peel that off probably and put it on and just kind of see how well it does. You know, it's usually, you're supposed to just peel it off once you get it for like your helmets and stuff like that. Or like on the side of like, you know, your dirt bike and stuff like that. But obviously I'm not going to be using that for that. So I might honestly just keep it honestly, on there. And then if someday I do, you know, because obviously, like I said, next year is 50%, right? So maybe I could start like biking some places, right? Like I had said when I was at the Turkey Hill Overlook Trail, right? Like why not bike, right? Oh geez, why not bike, right? Past 5 miles, right? Because walking 7 miles one way and then walking it back, I mean, that's an all day ordeal, right? Now biking is different, right? And it's been a long time since I've had a bike, so why not bike, right? Wednesday, right? So, yeah, we can definitely, you know, like I said, maybe do it then, and have like a specific helmet, right, that I have it on. But like I said, I have to think about, you know, how often I'll be doing that. I mean, every other year, every 50%, so, you know, 50% luscious, you know, it's a whole year worth, right, of time biking, so, you know, wouldn't hurt, right? But like I said, I also, you know, might just want to have it hiking too sometime, you know, like maybe I want to do it for climbing trees, you know, so there's just a couple things that you have to really think about and figure out the weighing the odds, you know, and different places that you can just like clamp it to the handlebar. And then you can have, you know, like cool, like, you know, cave explorations or just really cool pieces, and times where maybe you're going through like a narrow channel, right, in a hiking place, kind of like a Ricketts Glen, right, and you'll want to have, you know, the ability to be hands-free, right, and still be filming, right? And also there's lots of times too, even recording when and hiking, when I'm like that. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to take a break for a second, guys. I'm going through a lot of stuff, you know? So maybe you do reserve it for the biking. So like I said, regardless though, it is now officially 12:53, and I don't want to go on and on, here, right now. So I want to go ahead and get home and get lunch, and then obviously, spend time with Graham, right? And perfect some more Florida stuff. So there, oh guys, there she is. There she is, guys. It's an old girl too. There she is, guys. Florida, Florida, Florida. Also, I didn't share, speaking of Myrtle Beach, right, which is in South Carolina, they were probably also just visiting here too, because my neighbors recently got their new Pennsylvania plates, and I shared that before, right? Where I think that's a pretty universal law with all states, where once you're in that state for over 30 days, you have to get that state's license plate. You know, so they must be visiting since May, or maybe it ran out in May and they didn't get it done because they were coming up here on vacation for 2 months. I don't know, but yes, obviously there it is, guys. Here, I'll show you. Florida and South Carolina, guys. Those are my two states for my ending. My spectacular ending to my super Lush Life 2026 extravaganza, guys. So, oh, guys, look, Outer Banks. The Outer Banks. Wait, oh. The Outer Banks. North Carolina, South Carolina. Now all I need to see is Georgia, and we have almost all the states, except Virginia. I haven't seen Virginia, and my next door neighbors are from Maryland. Oh my gosh, guys, that is awesome. The Outer Banks, guys, North Carolina, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and then Florida. Awesome, guys. So, anyhow, let's officially go ahead and get on home. This has been a 6-minute joy talk. But hey, 6-minute joy talks are good, guys. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Wait, what is... Oh, that's a Pennsylvania. No! Guys, are those the same exact cars? No! From Pennsylvania should have pulled up just a smidge more. Guys, that would have been a perfect photo for reals. Anyhow, guys, let's officially go follow this Florida plate out of here. Right? There she goes. Hello. Guys, I'm officially home now. I went ahead and I tried my zip ties. Those didn't work. Just because you have to clamp like 4 of them together. And then obviously, because of whenever it loops around, right, this end over to this end, it's not really snug, and it doesn't want to stay snug, super snug. So I tried my belts, obviously, because I was like, oh wait, I still have those 2 extra belts, but even that was still just not quite enough. So what I was thinking, honestly, to get just an 8-inch C-clamp, but actually get this in between my chest and actually see if it's decent enough to maybe not need 8 inches, you know, and then maybe just do like a 7-inch C-clamp, you know. So that'll be really, really cool and fun and exciting. And also those C-clamps, they're even like thinner than this, right? So it'll just be, you know, a little bit dangling, you know, off the side. Maybe nothing at all, actually. Like, it'll add so little to the width of this, which the width is the same as the depth on this. So width is from here to here, and then depth would be this, right? And then the length is this way. So length, width, and depth. Yeah, like I said, I think I'll just probably try a C-clamp, honestly. They're actually not that much money at all. So that's really, really good. We'll try our C-clamp and see how that goes. So, yeah. Anyhow, I just wanted to come on and share that little update. But yeah, this is definitely really, really good, like I said. And knowing my limits, too. Because, like I said, I have all this stuff still. Like, I have all sunscreen, right? I only used 1 bottle. I didn't even use the whole bottle, right? So I still have a whole bottle of sunscreen, you know. I have all the toothbrushes already. Like, I'm definitely on a roll with that the next month, right? So September, which is that smallest but wrap-up month, right? So yeah, because I'm so far ahead, you know, I can drop, you know, $17, $18 because I was just looking at them a little bit, you know, but I was like, wait, you know, that's perfect because this is nice, you know, and it's rubber, right? But it's like hard rubber, right? You guys can see it's not really, doesn't really want to move around much, right? So, because it's a hard rubber, just go ahead and clamp it down, you know, and then have it at the other end and boom. just get a good old 8-inch C-clamp. So, yes. Anyhow, and then you guys also saw I did see a Virginia plate, right? So, we'll talk about another reunion. Well, talk about another reunion, guys. That is what happened. I had another full circle reunion, right? So, you guys already know that, right? As soon as I came back from Florida, right, I saw the job after the job. Hey, I never thought you would have been, a year ago, I would have never thought I would have came in to get my teeth cleaned, and boom, you're the one taking my x-ray. Would have never thought that, right? And obviously the same goes for the location one then, right? It's like, oh, what the heck? And it was the day after, right, all those comments, right? That was just wild, insane. So anyhow, guys, like I said, I'll officially, though, go ahead and get going here. Get a little bit of lunch. Probably just have a snack lunch today because it already is 1 o'clock and I'm working on my stomach, right? So, yeah. Anyhow, guys, I'll talk to everyone soon. Dun 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 dun. Hey everyone, your girl is here, so you guys would not believe it. I just obviously got done with a little bit of peanut butter, and then I was like, oh my god, wait, I forgot all about it. And I wish I would have done it as soon as I came home, but hey, just those small little percentages, it's not going to do much. But yeah, I wouldn't believe it, guys. You wouldn't believe it. This Super Lush Life, I'm officially home here in Pennsylvania. Last Super Lush Life, right? I got to see all the percents, guys. Every single one of them. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Look, and now the clouds are moving right on in. Perfect timing. Coincidence? I think not. So yes, guys, that was absolutely perfect. Perfect, perfect. I cannot believe that I was like, wait. I remember looking at it yesterday, and I was like, wait, like 3 to 8% at the max here in Pennsylvania. It's like, oh, no way. And also, think about it, I only lost maybe 2% at the most, because I was out there at like 2, which is, right around 3, 4, 5%. Because you guys remember, right, like first contact in Hot Springs was like 12 o'clock, or was it, it was like 12:10, and then it took until 1:51. So it took a whole 1 hour and 40 minutes to go completely in. That's crazy though. Again, goes to remind people how slow, and like Luke Bryan's song, I believe that days go slow and years go fast. And yes, that is very true. Because if you actually watch it moving, and you're like, wow, right? Like it really gives you the best that you can have, right? Like I said before, like time sense, right? It's really hard to imagine a place without any time. What do you mean time doesn't exist? Because all we've known this entire life is a time, right? Let's put a time to it. But a place or a time doesn't, what? Right? Like it's really hard for people to understand that, right? And obviously it was very hard for me to understand before my experience, right? So, but like I said, I think that is absolutely amazing, guys. I got to see it. I was very happy and excited. Just made some really good collages with it, so I'll officially go ahead and post those on my Instagram. So if you want to check them out, you can check out my Instagram. But oh my god, I was so happy to finally see it, and look, now all the clouds are in. Perfect timing. Coincidence? I think not, guys. That is so cool. Alright, guys, so anyhow, I'm officially going to go ahead and get more exercise, and then I'll upload those pictures to, here finally now comes the sun. Just sneaking through a little bit, and then it's going to go back in. Yep, went right back in. So yeah, anyhow, guys, I'll officially go ahead and start walking around, getting some exercise more, to watching the rest of today's video. So what about a part 2, right, Wednesday? Or why not 2 parts Wednesday? Yeah, so anyhow, guys, I'll talk to everyone soon. Guys, it's now officially 5:30. I just watched a That Girl Gatto, obviously, and I finished all of my exercise. So I'm actually within 500 of my goal. So there is a little bit of time left for dinner before dinner's ready. The chicken's taking a while to get cooked. Obviously, we're having an easy dinner because of, obviously, again, me, waking up super happy and excited and doing a good job though at not bouncing off the walls quite yet, right? So, and I did really good. You guys saw that this morning. So, yeah, I'm officially gonna take you guys out here. It will be in my yard, but no big deal. Um, I know how to, you know, be appropriate with it too. So, you guys can also see my hair is still absolutely amazing and lively. Um, I am going to obviously, um, probably not take a shower tonight just because I am so tired. I know I'll sleep good tonight. Um, Probably because of just how good my hair still is. You don't need to wash it every single day or even every other day. So I think I'll probably just leave it just because how, again, lively it is. I'll probably just, put on my deodorant, brush my teeth, all the other normal hygiene, right? Definitely, though, tomorrow without fail because I definitely, um, I'm not going to do a run tomorrow, but I'm going to do a lot of other stuff, right? So, and I'll be outside more, I'll be sweating more. So, yeah, it's a good idea to get a shower tomorrow for sure. And then Friday, definitely, because I'm doing a big run. So, anyhow, guys, let me officially go ahead and take you guys on out here and we'll practice this rope throwing. Here we go. Hey guys, so here is obviously all of my rope. As you guys can see, there is obviously quite a bit here. It goes the whole way down to here. So we're officially going to get it out. We won't have much to work with it at first, but so let me uncoil all of it, right? And then let me think here. So I kind of want to keep that. Obviously, again, I'm going to have a lot more. So what, maybe start like an arm's length back, I would say. And then, see, this is why I think it would probably be better. Or maybe I have to do it more with my body and not my... Let me think here. I'm trying to get this. I mean, it would be decent because it is. Okay. So I made it the whole way up to the tree, which is good, projection, right? Let me go ahead and pretend there's a GoPro up here. Oh, okay. I didn't let go of that. I held on too late. There we go. Let's come up here. And then I'll see if you have to have more of like a coil. Still not too bad, guys. Not bad. Okay, alright, I'm liking this, guys. This is getting good. Can you guys see how far up it went? Yeah. So now imagine having something really heavy, It definitely seems like the arm's length is probably the best bet to go. And then, ooh, look at that, guys. Ooh, Whew. Well, let's now try a little bit longer than arm's length. So this is arm's length. Let's come down a whole nother half, basically arm's length, well, shoulder length. So, and then let's coil it up with just a real little looseness, would you? And then we're gonna move all of this up into here. Oh, you guys can see I'm definitely getting it, so it's not too bad. But that was a good 3 minutes practice today. we'll do more later. I gotta get inside because Graham said I probably only had about 10 minutes tops. So, yeah, that was definitely a good starting practice, guys. Definitely very happy and excited. And the zebras, too, are very happy. Okay, so I'm gonna be a happy zebra on the beach. So, anyhow, guys, let's officially just keep right on and rolling here, and I'll talk to everyone soon. And we'll eventually get to the point where I try to, make my own little knot like I have for the anchors, and just kind of see how well I do, So, anyhow, let's officially get on inside. The conveyor belt of moisture develops. Guys, it's now officially 6:11. I'm all officially ready in my dress. Obviously, Graham and I are just getting ready to go ahead and go to the grocery store. And then we'll obviously check our, our points, right? And make sure they got uploaded, right? And then we'll get the gas then. But actually, oh geez, well, you just canceled the sale. If they hadn't gotten uploaded, because it does say on the receipt, give about 24 hours. But obviously I'm going to go in my zebra, right? So I'm going to be a zebra walking through the store. And I decided to do that just because, I was sick and tired of just the tightness all day long. Obviously the tight shirt. The skirt is nice, except obviously I had on the zebra bottoms underneath those. And those were obviously a little bit tighter, right? And then you have a full-on bra with the big straps. And it's like, no, I'm just going to put on a bralette. And I'm going to put on my camouflage bottoms, right? And I'm going to take it loosely, I guess you could say. Yeah, like that one song, Hold On Loosely, right? So yeah, it's like, I'm going to go out loosely, right? Kind of thing. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have just a nice, easy, you could even say a Haley Steinfeld night, right? Like her Most Girls song, right? Some girls never wear sweatpants looking like a princess, right? So, yeah, and sometimes they do that obviously on other times, and that's what I'm doing tonight, right? So, I'm still like most girls, right? So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And speaking of that, I will go ahead and I'll post all of the crazy nonsense, right? And me actually putting one person in their place. This was a while back, obviously. But obviously I put them in their place, because they, well, and this actually twisted into my doctor then too, because obviously they were showing narcissistic, traits, right? For example, they like to get you furious, right? To where you don't even talk straight, right? Like I said, stupid R, right? Which actually just means stupid slow. And that's not even a statement. That's not even it can be a statement, but it's not even a sentence, right? Stupid and slow. That can be a sentence. And then you could even add in helping, verbs, right? Helping adjectives, right? Like I said. So add in the person's a specific person's name. Jeez, that's a tongue twister. A specific person's name is, right, stupid and slow, right? Oh, then yeah, then that's actually a sentence. But to just say you're being a stupid slow, that's not, no. You're being a what? You're being stupid and slow, maybe, right? But yeah, like I said, so obviously I did put that one person in their place that one time. But yeah, after that, then I was just like, okay, well, at least they're not, pathetic about it, all right, or as low as about it, right? It's like, yeah, stop obsessing, it'd be great, right? So, anyhow, guys, officially, though, like I said, go ahead and get going, and then we'll talk, very soon. Obviously, I'll have a couple of videos here for the rest of the night, and then I'll finish with, maybe another That Girl Gatto. But I also might try to find a new Netflix thing. I also haven't done Mr. Ballin in a while, so I might do him. But I could also do some, Florida kind of research into different things too, right? And also I can also add on my days, right? So I have, you guys remember when I went down this spring, right? I had, this certain day is a weekend, right? So I planned my weekends, right? And yeah, so I can officially, know how to, when to like wake up a little bit earlier, Obviously I'm going to be up for the sunrise every single day in New Smyrna, and Myrtle Beach. But still though, like I said, just trying to figure it all out, engage in everything. But yeah, like I said, I'll officially go ahead, email that to myself, and then I'll talk to everyone soon. So I just realized I didn't talk about the narcissistic thing. So that also kind of goes off my doctor too. So for example, it's like, they never like to admit that they're wrong, right? So it's like I've said countless times on my page, I'm wrong, right? I don't beat around the bush, right? Sometimes I say my bad, right? That's my bad. But other times I just outright say I'm wrong, right? So let's treat this like a job interview, especially since you're not King Tut, right? And you have to obviously apply places and then have interviews, right? You don't just apply and get hired, right? You have to have an interview and, a lot of stuff, right? That goes into it. So it's like, okay, let's treat this like a job interview, right? Tell me about a time when you've outright said the words, I'm wrong, right? Since you like to be so superior and you expect people to be perfect, right? And then whenever a person really stands up to you and doesn't go off the deep end whenever you control them, right? Well, then again, you don't get your fix of, oh, look at them, they're getting all uptight. Right, yeah. So whenever you don't get that from me, right, and your operator, is very pathetic and aggressive, right? And she has her SpO2 drop about 10%, right? So once that happens, right, and you don't get your narcissistic, right, you know, traits fulfilled, right, or your personality traits fulfilled, right, then you get all bewildered and beside yourself, right? It's just like, yeah, so maybe you could just tell me about a time, but you're probably too cool to tell me anyhow, but maybe you could just tell me about a time when you've outright said the words, I'm wrong, right? So maybe you could just go ahead and do that and stop being so, I'm too cool for that, right? Yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of you, right? Because that's not any way to be a healthcare professional, right? So, like I said, guys, that is also the addition with him. So I'll talk to you guys later. Ooh. We are, guys, down through this condiment aisle, and we don't need any. I have those olives, too. So next time I have my salads, we have croutons still. We have your mix. We have almonds and cashews. Keep going, Mama. I don't know.
Because I know it's probably going to ask for an ID.
Yeah, it is because of what it is. It is going to ask. We know you are.
I need one of the juices back, please.
You really get one.
I only got one of them.
Uh-oh, bummer.
It's probably because there's a bar. Yeah, there's a barcode sticking out there, so probably pick that up and not the bottom one. Yeah. I hate when it does that. It is annoying. Yeah, we know you're old enough, but state and federal law makes us breaking card people for stuff like that all the time. It's just a kid using it to get drunk with it. Ridiculous.
There's better things to get drunk off of.
Than that, yeah. But that's something that they can go to the store and buy when they're 18.
Robitussin doesn't even taste good.
No, she's...
Does your name have one S or two S?
Huh?
What, does your name have one S or two S?
Two.
Two? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for asking. My dad can't even spell my name right.
Really?
He likes to throw extra I's in there extra, like a
Well-
single S and extra I's in there.
Was your dad Elon Musk or something?
No, my dad just doesn't know how to spell my
Alyssa's the
name.
same way. Some is like Aliy.
Oh. No, my dad does not know.
Guys, so there you guys officially have it. Now I'm officially home, and as you guys can see, I'm definitely thinking about writing a very nice, brief little, not complaint, but a praise, right? So obviously you guys know, and I actually didn't think about this, obviously, until just now, because I was thinking about my New Year's goals and everything, and then I was like, wait, I have that goal, but pretty soon, there's not going to be that many people, right? Meandering around, right? Or, well, at least whenever I come back, right? And there's only like 50 some days, right, until I leave. And I was like, oh my God, I have that New Year's goal, right? So that can actually be a start, even though there isn't like any picture attached to it, or just, just a warm like card, right? Or anything like that. It's still, nice, right? And you see that all the time. People kind of do their own like community things like that. And even if there isn't like an initiative, like they're forced to do it, right? Like community service, right? So yeah, that's kind of cool, right? So like I said, I forgot about that, and I was like, wait, actually, come to think of it, a positive review, right, can actually count too, right? So we'll definitely consider giving her some props, right, and some praise, and then we'll see what happens. I did look and see like what the company does, and it didn't really say. Sometimes it's just praise in the break room. Other times it could be a little bit of a gift card for them. So just be really, really nice. Like I said, she's definitely very knowledgeable, right? She is able to be personable and knowledgeable at the same time, which was really, really cool. And obviously taking initiative, right? Which was really, really nice too, right? So obviously, like, I went in there to relax, right? But like, if I wanted to just, chill out, right, towards the end of the shopping, which obviously you see that a lot. Like if a person is getting close to close, right, and it's on, maybe there's a lot of locals that go into that store, so they know on Fridays it's always this one person, so they're like, you know what, I'll go somewhere else. You go ahead and have a nice weekend, right? And actually a couple people have done that where I work too, right? So they know that it's my Friday. They're like, you know what? You can just go ahead and you don't have to do all this. It's like, no, I'm good. I'll see you later, right? Kind of thing. So yeah, that's also really, really cool, maybe I'm working on something, or typing an important email, right? Because for all she knows, I could be driving home, right? So that was definitely really, really cool. So anyhow, guys, without further ado, I'll go ahead and I will officially produce this video and get it up. And then we're definitely going to sleep really, really good tonight. And then tomorrow we can do more practice with the rope. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow then.